Now let's understand from the NCERT. It's a sex-linked recessive disorder due to the defect in either the red color or the green. So NCERT only explains red and green. Blue is not there explained. Red and green cone of the eye resulting in the field. Remember, there are problem with the cones. If you remember 11th class topic, photoreceptor cells in the retina are rods and cones. So cones are for color detection. So cones of the eye are defective because resulting in the failure to distinguish between red color and the green color. This defect is due to mutation in certain genes present on which chromosome? X chromosome. That's why it is called as sex-linked recessive disorder. It occurs in about 8% of male, and now this comes oftenly in the board exam. It is found up to 8% in the male but just 0.4% in the female. So the reason is same. Recessive characters are more common in the male, because for a male to show disorder, female just need to be a carrier. But for a female to be showing this disorder, the proportion is very less. Reason: for a female to become colorblind, she need father to be a colorblind father and mother to be at least a carrier. So for such a, because it is tougher to get such proportion, such probability of two colorblind or one colorblind and one carrier individual to get married. That's why chances of having this infection, chances of having this disorder in the case of females is rare. That's why it's just 0.4% in the population. It is because the gene that leads to the red-green color blindness are on the X chromosome. Males have only X chromosome and females have 2 X chromosomes. So male have only 1 X, females have 2. The son of a woman who carries the gene has 50% chances of being colorblind. The mother is not herself colorblind because gene is recessive. That means its effect is suppressed by her matching dominant normal gene. A daughter, now this is the answer, a daughter will not be normally colorblind unless her mother is a carrier and father is a colorblind one. So to find a lady to be colorblind is less possible. Reason is because she has 2 X in her, so both the X, unless both the X carry. So if both the X are homozygous and carry the recessive gene, then only she will show the expression. Otherwise she will not be a colorblind, she will be only a carrier. Now remember one thing, in this whole thing which I have told you, protanopia and deuteranopia, these are, for them the genes are present on the X chromosome. Why NCERT is not explaining the blue color blindness? Because it's the chromosome linked to it is the 7th chromosome. So blue color blindness is basically a autosomal disorder, Mendelian disorder, but the red and green color blindness are X-linked. Now one more thing, red and green type of color blindness are also called as Daltonism, because Dalton was a colorblind person. Now the next one to study is the hemophilia. Hemophilia is also called as bleeder's disease. So a person will continue to bleed. A small scratch will cause a lot of bleeding. Now let's understand this one first of all from here. There are types of hemophilia also. Alpha, beta, or you can say A type, B type, C type, even para type is there, but NCERT only explains these two. So A and B type of the hemophilia are again controlled by the X chromosome, so they are X-linked hemophilia, but the C type is controlled by the autosome 4th chromosome, and para hemophilia is a slightly modified form of hemophilia which is controlled by a gene present on the 1st autosomal chromosome. I hope this point is clear. So here also, because NCERT only explains X-linked, here also X-linked, so only these are mentioned in the NCERT. Hemophilia is caused because a If you remember 11th syllabus, we have learned about the factors involved in blood clot formation. So if any one of the factors is missing, then it will lead to the problem with the blood clot formation. That's why a person who is having type A of hemophilia will have problem with the 8th factor of the blood clot formation, and B type will have 9th factor missing, C type will have 11th factor missing. Because of all these, bleeding will occur for a longer time. Now let's understand this topic from the NCERT. So hemophilia is again a sex-linked recessive disease which shows its transmission from unaffected carrier female because she is heterozygous, and normal gene on the normal chromosome, X chromosome, would be dominant over the disease carrying one. To some of the male progeny, not to all, some of the male progeny has been widely studied. In this disease, single protein that is a part of the cascade of proteins involved in the clotting of the blood is affected. Due to this, in an affected individual, a simple cut will result in non-stop bleeding. Heterozygous female for hemophilia may transmit the disease to sons. Possibility of female, this again comes oftenly in board exam, possibility of female becoming a hemophilic is extremely rare, because mother of such a female has to be at least carrier and the father should be hemophilic. Now a hemophilic person cannot survive up to the age of fatherhood, because one or two, any reason and some accident, and the person will bleed and finish. That's why to find a female who is hemophilic is very rare, because for such a female to be born, mother should be at least a carrier and father should be hemophilic, but such a father rarely survives up to the age of marriage. Family tree of the Queen Victoria shows a number of hemophilic descendants, as she was a carrier of this disease.